bada boom, bada bang, bada bop. We are back today with a comparison of the two Asics Blast shoes. If you watch the channel, you know the Megablast may or may not be the best running shoe ever created, and the Sonicblast here was the companion plastic plated shoe that dropped alongside the Megablast. So if you are looking for a new daily trainer or a speed training shoe, welcome. You are in the right place, and an even better place would be the Supwell app. So the Supwell app is my app, and it's the best buy, sell, and trade marketplace out there. And here's how it works. Somebody gets a shoe like this, the Megablast, they might put a run on it. It doesn't work for them, so they list it on the app for well below MSRP. And that's how you could get a shoe like this, $225 for $150 or $160. So if you're looking to save money on running shoes, or you're looking to be part of the best happy jogger community, getting active daily, putting in work through the summertime, the wintertime, the snow, sleet, hail, rain, lightning storms, tornadoes, hurricanes, any other type of act of God that might occur, get in with us on the Supwell app and enjoy today's video. Oh man, not again. You know that song, Back to Back by Drake? Oh man, not again. Oh man, not again. Beautiful day, man. There are days, and then there are days, and this is a day. This is a heck of a day. We have the cerulean sky. We have the emerald grass. We also have longevity, lawn care out here putting in work. And is my grass getting kind of tannish? It is. Look at that, sun beaten. It's sun beaten from the hot summer here in the Carolinas. But if you look down there, it's actually nice and green. And over there, the grass is literally greener on the other side. It's not a joke this time, or just an expression people say, because look, brown on my side, if I look at my neighbor's grass, is literally greener. If I look at my across the street neighbor's grass, though, not to critique and not to throw stones at people living in glass houses or grass houses, I don't know if I landed the plane on that one, but not to critique overly so where I shouldn't be stepping, but I think my grass is greener than theirs. Probably about a tie with the mares, but the Houchins over there, their grass is way greener. And it's ironic or just confusing to me because we both have the same lawn care company, and theirs is somehow way greener. Anyway, we're not comparing lawns. I guess we are comparing lawns. We were just comparing lawns, but that's not the point of this video. The point of this video is not to compare the Houchins family grass to the Wamala family grass. It's to compare the Asics Megablast to the Asics. Oh, man down, man down. The point is to compare the Asics Megablast to the Asics Sonicblast. So the two new Asics shoes that came out late in the summer. If you've watched this channel, or maybe if you haven't even watched this channel, but you're in the running shoe sphere, you might have heard people talking about doing stuff in the Megablast, talking about lawn care in the Megablast, building a legacy like Build-A-Bear in the Megablast. Sonicblast, I don't know. It hasn't gotten as much hype. It hasn't gotten as much pop. It hasn't gotten as much buzz. So Asics dropped both of these shoes a few weeks ago or a few months ago at this point. The Megablast is supposed to be the most refined, smoothest, most fun version of the Superblast. Long run cruiser with speed capability. It is designed to be the ultimate daily trainer. And Asics absolutely nailed it with this shoe. This is my favorite shoe of the year. This is the best shoe of all time. Why? The stack to weight ratio, the performance across multiple run types, and the hit rate. Lots of people love this shoe. Argument for being one of the best shoes of all time. Maybe you could argue Evo SL. Some people argue that's the best shoe of all time. Or a standard daily trainer, something like the Aero Goat could be the best shoe of all time, but the performance is there, the fun is there, and the capability is there for a lot of people and a lot of paces. So that's the Megablast. Sonicblast, this is different. This is more of a classic modern speed trainer, or classic modern tempo trainer. And it's ironic to say classic, or oxymoronic, should I say, to say classic modern. But this is really the formula that was pioneered a few years ago, where you have two different types of foam. So more of a race foam on the top. And in this case, it's the FF Turbo Squared, which is allegedly
the same foam that's in the Megablast. It doesn't feel like it. So this is not a true race foam. It's a version of aliphatic TPU that's in their Metaspeed shoes that's been made firmer, that's been made more rigid and more durable. And this is an extremely durable shoe. So it's a version of that foam that is supposed to be the same across both of these. It doesn't feel the same to me. But what you also have is a plastic plate and then the bottom layer of FF Blast Max here, which is a comfort foam. So you have a fast foam on top, a plastic plate, and a comfort foam on the bottom. It's a confusing shoe. It's a slightly weird shoe. It's also very similar to the Super Blast, right? In the Super Blast, you have the top layer of race foam with the bottom layer of the training foam or the softer foam on the ground for the impact absorption, but no plastic plate in the Super Blast. So I have found the Sonic Blast to be smooth. I found it to be comfortable. I have not found it to be particularly peppy or fast. I can feel the snap of the plastic plate, but it just doesn't have that much aggression to it. And I've actually found the Megablast to be just overall a better shoe. But weirdly, the Sonic Blast, even though it's plated, I found to be slightly more comfortable. So today, I'm going to get some miles in the Sonic Blast. I have nearly 200 miles in the Megablast. Going to do a head-to-head comparison, get some on-the-run insights of the Sonic Blast and how it compares to our number one shoe right now, the GOAT, the best shoe of all time, the greatest running shoe ever created, and see if there's a place for this in your rotation. So far, I have likened this to a 4-hour marathon shoe or just a shoe that is designed to be somebody's first plated trainer, whereas the Megablast feels like it can work well for anyone, just depending on how you might use it. For some people, it might be a 4-hour marathon shoe. For others, it could be a daily trainer. I like it as a daily trainer and an occasional workout shoe. For the Sonic Blast here, same thing. Anybody could run on it, but it really feels, to me, purpose-built for being that first plated shoe, which, by the way, an Asics rep, I saw this video from an Asics rep in Australia. He was breaking down the differences between these shoes, and he said the same exact thing about the Sonic Blast. He actually said this is for people who can't get benefit from carbon-plated racing shoes at certain paces. I don't quite buy that because I think a lot of people can get benefits from the carbon-plated racing shoes, whether it's physical, psychological, or just the impact absorption, and maybe even the fun. But as an alternative to a carbon-plated racing shoe, this would work a lot better for some people. It's just a lot less aggressive. So with that, we will lace up the Sonic Blast. I actually don't know when because I have to go do some childcare duties. But after that, we will lace up the Sonic Blast and get some insights.
Straight up.
Alright, man. 2 hours later, lacing up the Sonic Blast. I told you, there's been a lot of barefoot shenanigans going on. So I was on childcare duty for the last few hours doing kid pickup and everything. But we can finally get the run in. I never run at this time of day. Sometimes I do my double in the afternoons. Well, frequently I do my double, but never this late. It's almost 4:30 right now, so it's nice, actually. The lighting at this time of day is really different. I feel this way whenever I run at around 7 in the morning, because usually my morning run is anywhere from 8:30 to 9:30. Oh, gosh, still having tripod drama. So, yeah, it's nice. Gosh. Let's see. Can I tie my shoe before the tripod collapses again? The bottom of the shoe isn't even on the frame. I know that. We did it. All right, let's go get some mileage. I should have mentioned. I know this is supposed to be fit and feel section, right? True to size. Normal. Good fit. Good feel. Not too much of note there. Yeah, look at this. At this time of day, the shadows are just so nice. Long shadows. The light coming through the trees. Yeah, anytime I run in this shoe, I just feel like the transition from heel to toe, it's smooth, but it's not as quick as I would expect.
Doesn't have the same snap as the Megablast, even though it has a plate. What a day, man. What a day. I don't think Min Hill could look any more beautiful today. Man, it's a beautiful day. It's also crazy how hot it still is. Feels like it's almost 80, man. It's just wild. Still getting those heat adaptations deep into October. Gosh dang. Mile 1, 7:45. Man, I wasn't able to run this morning. My body feels horrible. Just horrible. My frequency has been way down because I haven't been able to run as much recently. I feel god awful. Just creaky, tight. Just terrible. I only have time for a short run right now because it's gonna be dinner time. See, that's why I haven't been doing running vlog videos recently, because I just complain. It's terrible. Mile 2, 8 flat. Man, I almost always speed up on the second mile. I slowed down. I went from 7:45 to 8 flat. My legs just feel miserable. Just deplorable, despicable, atrocious, abominable. I empty out the thesaurus today. Man, after this race, I can't wait to get back to my normal running schedule. Just feels so off. It's a beautiful day though. Beautiful day. Mile 3, 8:14. I'm getting slower every mile here. I'm fading. I'm fading on my recovery run. I'm fading on my aerobic miles. It's terrible. And I honestly think the less I run, the more awkward I feel. That's why I try not to cut my mileage ever. But the last 2 weeks were a necessity. Yeah, I can't wait to put this marathon behind me and just run. Man, no wonder the low mileage boys are so cranky and grumpy and angry all the time, just putting out hatred in the world. It feels miserable to run low mileage. Yeah. I'm gonna start finding random YouTube accounts and just posting negative comments on their page unless I increase my mileage. It's a disease. This low mileage stuff is horrible. What time is it? It's 4:59. The food is supposed to get back at 5, or the DoorDash dinner is supposed to get there at 5. I don't even care. I'm pushing to 6 miles. Get this low mileage itis off of me. It's horrible. Yeah, this is a weird shoe, man, because I can feel that I'm running in a plastic plated shoe, but it doesn't feel super fast or peppy. There's definitely the added stiffness in here, but the bottom layer of foam is doing the reverse. Because you think of a plate and you want that snap and that forward motion, the movement. And the bottom foam is a lot of protection and impact absorption. So just the elements aren't coming together in the way that you would think. Maybe I'll throw some strides or something in at the end. Yeah, it just feels like more of a cruiser to me than anything. The bottom layer of FF Blast Max is playing a bigger role than Asics likely intended. This has got to be a top 3 time of day to run. I think number 1, this is a time of day power rankings. All right, number 1, sunrise. Nothing beats it, especially starting in the dark and then it gradually gets lighter for the long run. That's the best. Dude, I think I forgot how to shoot tube. I've been out of practice. I can't talk and hold the camera. My breathing's too heavy. Number 2, 7:30 a.m. So not right after sunrise, but when the sun has been in the sky for maybe 45 minutes or an hour, you get these really long shadows. And then number 3 right now, this is just perfect. Past the heat of the day, get the long shadows again. The work of the day has been done, except if you do daily YouTube videos, then you have to edit a full video still. But for most people, the work of the day is done. You still get some natural light. Just a great time of day to run. That was mile 5, by the way. I don't know the pace. 8 something. Yeah, no strides today. Just gonna close it out. Some nice, slightly faster than jogging. Yeah, my legs feel not great. Just super tight. So I don't want to do any strides today. But at the same time, I don't know, there's certain shoes where I put them on and I'm always compelled to run faster. Hyperion Max 3, Megablast. I'm trying to think of some other ones. Of course, race shoes, but in terms of training shoes, Boston 13, Evo. And then there's other shoes like this, Vomero Premium. A lot of max cushion shoes where that just doesn't happen. Not that you can't run fast, but when I put these on, they don't compel me to pick up the pace. It just reads as a very relaxed shoe with a plastic plate. Can you see all those bugs on camera? It's like raining bugs. It's disgusting. Uh-oh, I got back and the bag of food is not on the porch, and the door, the inside door, is ajar. And there's a nice fall harvest wreath on the outside. So that either means the food is not here or they got it and they're eating dinner. I think they're eating dinner. I could hear the bag crinkling. Okay, let's just go do the breakdown. I'm going to sneak down there. Man, I guess the downside of this time of day, running at this time of day, is that the lighting is absolutely atrocious here on the street. Let me close out this run on the watch. I didn't even have time to do that. How did I feel? I think we'll do a slight frown face today, and I still have my Sonicblast on. Boys talking about strength training. I haven't come out here with the shirtless recently because it's been slightly cooler and I've been traveling. Let's get our stats. 8:02 pace, average 138 heart rate, 262 feet of elevation gain, 6 miles. I've been feeling like my heart rate is slightly higher than normal recently for my everyday paces, for everything really actually. Yesterday my heart rate was super high during the marathon pace, but what's crazy is that the effort didn't feel high. My effort during that felt really low actually, and the fact that I was coming out in the warm-up and popping a 6:10 mile, 6:30 mile, it means my legs are fresh. But here's the trade-off of tapering. By the way, I'm taking off the shoe. That's why I'm bending down here. The trade-off of tapering or sharpening or peaking is that you want to be fresh enough to let yourself push as hard as you can, but you don't want to detrain. You don't want to lose fitness. And historically, I've felt that I lose fitness pretty quickly, which is why I do shorter tapers. And I actually think I perform best right around peak mileage. Man, when I did the 14-mile tempo earlier this summer in the Fast R3, which I think that might have been my best run this year. Hopefully my marathon turns into my best run. But when I did that, 14 miles at a 5:37 pace, and I didn't feel like I was fatiguing at the end. I actually felt like I was getting stronger, deeper into that run. But when I did that, that was, I think, the week after a 140-mile week, and it might have been in a 130-mile week. I really feel like I perform my best when my mileage is higher. I've had to cut my mileage these last 2 weeks because I was traveling the week before, and then last week was just a mess. So I don't know, it's tough. I don't feel like I'm rounding into peak shape here, and this is the thing with the heart rate for me. I know when I'm at peak volume, my heart rate will drop, and I try not to look at it too much, but I have been looking at it recently. And what happens is the volume, when your mileage is higher, it will suppress that heart rate. It could also be glycogen depletion will make your heart rate lower. And anecdotally, I have also found that when I'm super tired, so not overtraining, but just slugging out 820 miles, 830 miles in a high mileage week, it's almost like my heart rate won't get past a certain point because I'm so tired. And that's right on the line. Now, what's happened to me recently where I'm just way fresher than I want to be is interesting, and it hasn't happened to me in a while, man. I haven't run a tempo with my heart rate in the 180s in years probably. So that's what happens when you cut to 55 miles a week, and that was just a circumstance of life. Sometimes it happens, right? Anyway, we got 6 miles, and again, volume's been low. My plan tomorrow is to hopefully get at least 14, do 10 in the morning, 4 in the afternoon. Wednesday is going to be my last workout, and then Thursday and Friday I'll do 6 and 4 mile run or something, then Saturday a 4 mile run before Sunday. But yeah, today and tomorrow. Today I was hoping to get a higher mileage day. I wasn't able to. Higher mileage relative, but it's okay because yesterday I did that day of intensity. Tomorrow I'll get back to a more normal schedule. Maybe my last double. Wednesday is probably going to be my last double. Anyway, 6 miles in the Sonicblast. I have now about 60 to 70 miles on this guy versus 180 miles in the Megablast. Right away, just from my personal preference, which one of these would I get if I could only get one? It's the Megablast. This is the superior shoe for me, for my training, what I prefer. This just feels more natural across a variety of paces, and it feels better than the Sonicblast for pretty much everything for me. I don't think there's a run where I would pull the Sonicblast over the Megablast. I don't know. It's more energetic. It's more comfortable to me. It's smoother. It's a great example of doing more with less, right? Because you have the one type of foam in here, the FF Turbo Squared, and in here you have the FF Turbo Squared with the plate and the other foam, and it really just feels nothing like the Megablast. If you've run in both of these shoes, let me know if you're with me on that, because yeah, this is not a bad shoe, and I actually really like this shoe, and if the Megablast didn't exist, I'm sure I would have this up to 100 miles right now. And there's nothing displeasing or unpleasant about this ride, but it just doesn't feel the same as the Megablast at all. The foams in here don't feel similar to what's in the Megablast. It feels like a very comfortable, smooth shoe, and yeah, the key note here is the FF Blast Max. It informs the ride a lot more than you might expect because it's just on the bottom here. It's just 15 to 20 millimeters, but that is the main note that I get out of the shoe. It's the impact absorption, it's the smoothness, and it is that snap of the plate, but it's almost like the plate is in this, the word that's coming to mind is muddy or sludgy foam, and I don't mean that in a derogatory way or putting down the shoe. It kind of sounds like that. But the other thing, the positive way to look at it is if you're running in mud, the impact absorption would be really good. So this was a recovery run today. I was hoping it would be more of aerobic pace, but I did hammer 8 miles at marathon pace yesterday with 2 at threshold. So the body's gonna feel how the body feels. And the other thing is, man, with this block and with how just messed up the last 5 weeks or month has been, and I said this in one of my long run videos about 3 weeks ago when I was doing my coffee, I was saying, man, I really just feel like the long run, this block has been the one area where if I could point to something and say, this is what could be improved, it would be the long run. Because I actually did do some speed workouts here and there, and that's the other thing. I didn't do as many interval workouts as I would have liked, and I also didn't have the long runs that I would have liked. But with the long run, for me, I want to be running 3 or 4 really good long runs, so 14 miles of marathon pace or 12 miles of marathon pace, and have the average pace of those be about 20 seconds per mile slower than goal marathon pace. I didn't have any of those this block. I had a few in the 620s, but that's 40 seconds per mile slower than marathon pace. So yesterday's run was 14 miles at 6:01. It's just a week out from the marathon, which would be about 20 seconds slower than goal pace, but it was only a 14-mile run, not a 20. So yeah, I have lots of things that I want to do differently next time, and it's not even like, because I've been looking back and it's like, what could I have done differently this time? Because I don't feel like I'm as prepared as I want to be, but there's just a lot of stuff out of my control. The reason I didn't do those long runs was because I prioritized the marathon pace, because I was moving my long runs midweek and just getting off schedule, so I wasn't able to do it. Anyway, point being, today was more of a recovery effort in the shoe, clipping off 8-minute miles. It felt good to okay, but yeah, for me it's just one step below the Megablast. Now, qualities to this that the Megablast does not have that might make you want to consider this: it does feel like a shoe that is more actively designed for comfort, and it also feels like it's more actively designed for a slower pace, relative. Not a 10-minute pace, this is a 10-minute pace shoe versus a 6-minute pace shoe. No, it feels like, for me, this shoe actually feels more optimal at an 8-minute pace versus the Megablast is more optimal at a 7-minute pace. And I also think that might translate for some other people to if you're running 11-minute paces versus 9-minute paces. Now, I do have to say with the Megablast, once this thing is broken in, it gets so much more comfortable, it gets so much smoother, it gets so much nimbler at those relaxed paces. I always felt like through the first 100 to 120 miles, the shoe is always pushing me to run faster, and that's what I was saying at the end here. The Sonicblast, it just isn't pushing me to run fast because of how much that FF Blast Max is coming through. It's like when you have a blend, right? A nice coffee blend or a wine blend, and there's one bean or one grape that's dominating the notes. That's kind of how I feel about the FF Blast Max here. You have some other shoes, Hyperion Max, for example. You can really feel the stiffness of that carbon fiber plate. Or the Super Blast, the element that I can feel there is that very firm FF Turbo, especially in the heel. With the Sonicblast, it's the FF Blast Max, which makes this more of a hang back, relaxed character type of shoe, versus this, the foam is so energetic. So my takeaway here is, man, you got to let the foam breathe. And I think with the FF Turbo Square, this is just a beautiful implementation of it. I'm almost wondering if this would have been a better shoe if they had flipped the foams or done something different. Just comparing these two, again, not a bad shoe, but it's just a brilliant example of a running shoe here. Best running shoe ever created with this foam, just letting it breathe, the unbridled joy, the bounce, the wild sensation of this shoe. Plus, as it's aging, just getting more comfort, becoming a better companion for everyday miles. So my pick is the Asics Megablast at $225. You might want to consider this if you don't want unbridled joy, you don't want unbridled bounce, or if you do want to experiment with the stiffness of a plastic plate. I don't know. It's hard for me to recommend the Sonicblast over the Megablast. It's just, yeah, I think for most people, I would go for the Megablast. The only better thing here is the impact protection, and that's not minimal, right? I know for a lot of people, if you're trying to prevent an injury, if you're just more conservative, if you're building mileage, if you don't want to be in a shoe that encourages you to run faster, because I get that, right? I don't always want to run in a Megablast or an Evo SL or a Boston. Sometimes I want to hang back. If that is the case for you and you're more about injury prevention or impact absorption, you might want to check this guy out. The FF Blast Max is a really nice foam for that. So there you go. For most people, I recommend the Megablast. Some people might find that this shoe is better, but I don't know. The Megablast is just so good. There's nothing the Megablast can't do for me. So that is all I have for you today. I appreciate you. Keep the mustard on the dog. The mileage train is rolling. I'm going to try to just get as many miles as I can this week while recovering. All we can do is our best. Did I say I appreciate you? I think I said I appreciate you. I've got to go eat dinner. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. Mileage so low, he got a refund from Enterprise. If you're new to the channel, welcome. But it's been a vibe. I just grind in the winter, then I shine in the summertime. Man, his mileage was so low, he had to pay his company. They wouldn't even reimburse him because his mileage was so low. Mileage was so low, the insurance company refused to insure him. And a lot of these guys have mileage so low,